Hi, welcome. My name is Angelina, and today we're going to be looking into IVE's live performances. This is basically a series I do where I take a specific group and I look into their performance history for fun to see if they typically do live performances, if they're more so a lip syncing group. Nothing wrong with that, aside from the fact that we won't get into that. Now, I was inspired because a lot of people sent me IVE's most recent performance on Music Bank, I believe, where they're like, I can hear that they're singing live. Now, here's the thing with IVE. I've always really considered IVE a lip sync group. Now, you can crucify me all you want. I've just literally admitted I heard a live stage, so back off. But genuinely, I did really consider IVE a lip sync group, and maybe this is my own bias because I have in the past reviewed quite a few IVE's performances where they are lip syncing, where they are doing LAR performances. So I just kind of assumed, they would bring that into IVE. Not only that, it's not that I haven't watched any IVE performances and I just assumed they would lip sync, but I did watch a lot of, end of year award show performances with IVE and they were lip syncing as well. So I kind of just wrote them off as a lip syncing group. It is what it is. There are plenty of groups like that. Should I name them? Fight me in the comments all you want. I've been gaslit to hell and back that some of the groups that I know perfectly well for a fact are mostly lip syncing groups somehow suddenly, according to all you little shits in the comments, literally never lip sync. You're kidding, right? I did not have it on my bingo card to get canceled, not only for saying that twice lip syncs, but for aespa lip syncing. I thought we just knew. Digressing, now that I'm done unintentionally starting all sorts of fan wars, let's get into this IVE video. Now listen, I was this close to getting in trouble for being a Wonyoung solo stan in my last IVE video. Now I can't make any promises, but I will say I uploaded this YouTube short and Liz is making me feel a type of way. It's the live vocals and energy, guys. So you never know. Maybe my bias will change by the end of the video. I'm starting off with Wonyoung. I'll let you know at the end of the video if it changes. But I have basically 2 stages for each song that for each title track that they've released. So we have 11, Love Dive, After Like, and now, Kitsch as well. Pre-release, but whatever. And then of course, I am. Within the K-pop community, Wonyoung and Iso's Strawberry Moon performance was just, it went viral for the worst reasons ever because they're literally sitting and they're literally sitting and standing there at the same time. No, it was just so unbelievable. They weren't even trying. And that's the thing. Now, anytime I talk about IVE, I get comments like, aren't they the ones that were sitting and lip syncing? Yes, they are. I'm sorry. Like, you can't avoid it. You can't deny it. This happened. It is what it is. Are they the only ones who have ever done that? Absolutely the fuck not. I've seen so many end of year award show stages where it's literally a ballad. It's a ballad and they're lip syncing. It's just because it's Wonyoung, I think. Well, it has to be because it's Wonyoung because like I've said, I've seen plenty of stages like this before. I mean, was I shocked? I mean, I was just disappointed. Of course, it's disappointing. And you can feel however you want to feel. That's how I feel. You're not going to change my mind. It was a disappointing stage. Do I still love Wonyoung? Absolutely. Like, this is queen behavior. She's like, I don't even have to sing. It's just so obvious too. No one could even deny that they were lip syncing, so they had to make up different excuses. Like, well, they were tired. They were this, they were that. I mean, like, that's the thing. Idols are allowed to be tired and idols are allowed to lip sync, but like, at least pretend. At least make it believable. Like, that's the thing with second gen. They could make it believable. I love her though. I fucking love her. Because that high note, it's really that high note. Like, her voice ended. Her voice is done right now. Her note is over with and her mouth is still open and she's still like not. No, I mean, back then I was literally like, she's untalented and she doesn't deserve to be where she is. Listen, I'm allowed to feel however I want to feel. But now that I'm in love with her, I'm just like, here's the thing. I understand toxic K-pop stans now. Because it's like, you guys defend the stupidest shit. And here I am being like, no, this is queen behavior. Like, I'm not even going to say she was tired or anything. I think they just didn't want to fucking sing. But I'm defending it in the sense that I'm just like, no, this is literally so iconic. She's not even trying. She doesn't even have to try. And she's still getting paid. Like, I'm just saying I have a new understanding of toxic K-pop stans now. Because I feel like I would just put my life on the line for her. But I digress. Of course it's disappointing. What the fuck? She said lovingly. It went viral. Hell, I made a video about it too. I was like, this is like a new low for K-pop lip syncing. That was almost the title, but I was a little scared to title it that back then. I would do it today. I'm not scared anymore of you little shits. I just had some coffee. My mom got this coffee yesterday and she's like, it tastes so bad. I'm like, it was $10. I don't want to waste it. So I'm feeling the effects of it. I believe I get way too anxious when I drink coffee. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, so that was my view on IVE, okay? Because I remember watching a ton of IVE performances and it was pure LAR, very similar to this, where just the facial expressions are not matching what you're hearing. So of course I go into every group with a clean slate, but I kind of assumed IVE would be more or less similar. And watching end of year performances, I was like, yeah, they're not singing live. I think I saw one performance where I could kind of hear them, but as Kpop stans, it needs to be said, okay? We've reached a new low because the minute there's like a semblance of a live voice, people are like, oh my God, it's a live performance. And we're literally running around like sending these performances to each other. Like, do you hear that little at 0.23 seconds? Do you hear that? I think I heard something and we're joyous about it. We are so excited. It's literally the bare minimum, but we couldn't be happier about it. So it's 4th Gen live. Come on. Like, it's just our standards as K-pop stans are literally to the floor because but yeah, with all that said, I'm excited to get into the performances. I just wanted to give you guys an introduction on what IVE might look like to outsiders. And I do consider myself still an outsider to IVE. I don't know all of the members. I do have these preconceived notions. So that's why I wanted to do this, to check out their performances and just come to my own conclusions and bring you guys along for this fun little ride. So, oh my God, she's just that girl. She's just that girl, and I have nothing to say about it. 111 is I am not evading these solo stan accusations so far. Okay. Oh, did I hear a little bit of... That's the thing. Oh my God, it was like the slightest little voice. Anyways. Did you hear that? Oh, I forgot to give my last disclaimer. I know it's really annoying and I'm gonna pause a lot. I can't help it, but I genuinely am very skeptical of K-pop live vocals to begin with. You know, I've made so many videos about K-pop and lip syncing in the past, and I don't want to continuously repeat myself for people who actually watch me quite a bit, but I am skeptical. I just want to hear something like super authentic. So if I'm sat here like wondering, did I hear a little bit of something? Did I hear a little? Is the backup track? If the backup track is too loud at the end of the day, it does take away from the live performance. They could be singing perfectly live in the background, but I can't quite hear it. But you know, we're off to a good 4th Gen start, I would say. 2nd Gen me would be like, fuck this shit. This isn't live. Oh, you heard her say, Bomya? Well, that's not enough. Okay. Okay, I think she is live though. Who is this? No, I know. Don't tell me. That's Iso, isn't it? Oh, is that what she said? You can hear 2 voices in this line by... I know her name. Don't tell me. Maybe you'll have to tell me. The subtitles don't have their names, which I think is really rude for like new stans trying to learn their names. Come on. That's not Ray. That's definitely not Ray. My point is you can hear 2 voices. So the backup track and the presumably live vocals peeking through, which is what I generally tend to think is proof of a live performance. Because if you hear one singular smooth voice, it's usually a group who has recorded those live vocals in a studio to then lip sync over it in a performance. Now, does it mean that a group can't still be lip syncing if you hear 2 voices? Anything is possible, but I'm trying to hold on to hope for something. Who is she? Okay, so we have over here Liz at the very left. Wonyoung. Oh, I'll get there. I do hear the member on the far right a lot in this performance though. As a general rule, I don't look at the chorus to see if people are singing at all. I don't even think about the chorus. To me, the chorus is a part in the song where generally the members take a break. So I don't look for live vocals in the chorus. I don't know the choreography. I don't know why I'm trying to pretend. Like that's an instance where I would be like, I don't really hear her and her mouth shapes aren't matching. But I feel like we heard her a little bit in the beginning, so I wouldn't look too much into it. That's the thing. Some people will say, like, well, it's partially live. I mean, to an extent, even like the most live K-pop performances are only partially live, right? Because, like I mentioned, usually in the chorus, you're not really going to hear anyone. It's usually a place where they take a break. And if you're singing and dancing, you have to take these breaks, right? I mean, of course, you have line distributions and all that jazz, but there are parts of the song where you're just not going to sing them. You might sing like the ending of a line or the beginning of the line and then stop at the end. So I don't agree with like the partially live thing. It's either live or it's not. You're either hearing somebody or you're not, right? And each member could have a different level of how loud they're singing and all that jazz. So this was just an example of if the whole performance was like this and her mouth shapes and energy was not matching anything, then I would have said it's like an LAR performance. But did you hear that? We're hearing the two voices again. Okay. So I would say it was live, though we couldn't hear them a lot. Live, but fourth gen live, I would say. So another performance of 11, I really wanted to keep it to 2 because otherwise we're just hearing the same songs over and over again. And I really wanted to make this video back when they had just released After Like, but now they have 2 more songs. So it would be way too long, right? So let's do the last performance of 11. This is one where I'm predicting it's probably going to be LAR. I'm not really hearing anybody. There was one I know it was just Liz, but it's a prediction. Let me live. Was it Issa in the last performance? I'm like, oh, I can hear her. So this, we're hearing again that one smooth voice. So I just think it's probably not live. I don't think so. Yeah. Do you see the mouth shapes and energy don't match what you're hearing? Coward. Was it Coward? I'm trying to remember. Let me know in the comments in the last performance. I was like, who's the one I keep hearing 2 voices? So yeah, I would say this is pre-recorded. This is more in line with what I usually saw IVE do. IVE Stans are gonna fucking come after me, but that's what I mostly saw from IVE. Actually, that's all I saw from IVE. Leave down in the comments below, like live IVE stages. I'd love to check them out. I mean, obviously I didn't see every single IVE performance. Just the ones I saw were pre-recorded. I just have to say, that's the life of a K-pop YouTuber. You just have to clarify every single thing you say because you know someone's going to be in the comments getting mad about it. It's just like, okay, I did say twice always lip sync, but do you really believe that I meant like every single performance that Twice have ever done in their whole entire lives? They've never sang live once. Like I can name you live Twice performances. It was just like a figure of speech, guys. I've seen enough. And some people are going to be like, but you can hear them breathing. You can pre-record that stuff. Absolutely. Some people like dance a little bit in the studio while they're recording these specific tracks to lip sync over. But I do want to show you the difference between the first stage where I think it was live versus this stage where I don't think it's live. The 2 voices versus the 1 smooth voice. That's what I'll point out. But now we can move on to Love Dive. So we have another music bank performance. Right off the bat, it sounds live to me just because it's like we're faintly hearing her. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not super clear. Oh, that is Ray. Well, then I guess I really didn't know Ray's face at all. Just on a personal level, I really thought that was Ray for the longest time. It's cold. Oh my god. Ooh, the 2 voices again. Issa. Yeah. A Perfect Sacrifice. I could hear Yujin in there. Oh, yeah. You can hear that too? Oh. I do not remember this dance break. Okay. Off to a good start, I guess. Next up, it's another music bank performance, but let's go. I think it sounds the same as the last one. Another example, when someone's like, it's partially live. Like, obviously, Wonyoung is not ever going to sing the ooh. Like, it just, I don't, do you know what I mean? There are parts of the song specifically where they don't sing it ever. Does that make sense? Oftentimes, like, intro parts of the song, they're not live. Like, if they say something or... yeah. Which, on that note, I'm not trying to drag ATs or anything, but for the real performances, I just think it would have been so much fun if they could have actually said, like, those parts of the song, like, 이게 바로 무식이다. You know, like, I think it would have, like, given so much energy if they could have just, like, screamed it into the mic instead of lip sync those parts. And I just find it so, I don't know why they do that. It's like a K-pop industry thing. Like, when there's something to be said, it's usually not loud. I don't know why. Like, yeah. We heard two voices there again. I'm trying with the choreography again. I think it's live, so it's pretty much the same as the last stage. Yeah, I think I've seen enough of this one as well. It's pretty much similar to the last one where we're hearing two sets of voices. But I will mention again, like, the frustrating part is that it's so rare to hear anyone, like, actually struggle. And we know that they do struggle. We know that there's post-editing after the performance is done. It is sad to not be able to hear a little bit of a struggle anymore, because I think it just added to the performance. But it is what it is. This is industry standard at this point. So now we can finally move on to After Like. I won't write it off right away because I feel like it does have that sound where there's two voices. It's just very, that my voice was wavering. Very, very low, but we'll see. I'm not sure though. I don't think so. That's the thing, this one doesn't sound like it's one smooth voice. It sounds like it's entirely the backup track. We're just not hearing anybody. I would hate that part of the choreography, just on a personal note. I don't like touching the ground. And I'm just like, I almost feel like I could hear her, but for me, it's not enough to consider it live. I feel like it's meant to be live. Maybe they're just blending too well. I just wouldn't consider it. And you can crucify me in the comments. Maybe IVE are just literally too perfect that they're blending in so well. But when I'm watching a live performance, I like to look for something tangible. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I heard her a little bit. Ooh, see? Their live vocals are so low. I heard her say E, the faintest E. The E after V is so faint. So it's always important to consider that if you were there in person, it might have sounded entirely different compared to once the music show gets hold of the performance, edits the performance, and then uploads the performance. So those are my final thoughts on the first After Like performance. So now we have an Mnet stage for After Like. This sounds a little more like LAR. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like more one smooth voice as well, and we're hearing some like voice pops. Let's compare that to the last performance. You can hear the difference, right? You can almost hear a voice in the KBS stage, but then in the Mnet stage, I would argue it's pre-recorded. Mouth shapes not matching. To me, it seems pre-recorded. Now let's take a look at Kitsch on KBS again. My initial reaction is it's probably pre-recorded. What? Am I hearing Liz? Liz, damn, I feel like I'm hearing her. Like, do you see why I would assume that it's pre-recorded in this instance? Did you hear that? Oh, I think it's one of those performances where they do record the live vocals in a studio, but then you can hear some of the live vocals peeking through it. So the main vocals are pre-recorded, like Wonyeon's parts, as far as I can tell, 1 minute and 41 seconds into the performance. But they can sing over it if they want to. Wait a minute. Did you hear this ass hattery, Mnet? What are you, oh, sorry, KBS, what are you doing? You can hear again the faintest voices that are so muted. Listen. I believe Liz is trying to tell, or Isa is trying to tell us something. Did you hear her? The ya versus the actual ya on the stage. You can hear the two different ya's. The one they tried to mute out and the one of like the pre-recorded vocals. Do you know what I mean? Listen. With your ears, guys. KBS, come on. Let us feel the energy. You can also hear the two voices, but the real one is so muted. Okay, I've seen enough. Let's go to the second Kitsch performance, and then we can go, then we can finally go to I Am. So if the whole performance is sounded exactly like this, I would say it's pre-recorded. But this is an interesting case where there are these pre-recorded elements, right? Which I think is different in comparison to having a backup track. Because if you hear Wonyeon's part here, it sounds perfectly pre-recorded, one singular voice. But we have heard stages in the past where it's a backup track and you can hear a voice peeking through. So I feel like there are 3 types of performances in K-pop. There's the backup track with the voice peeking through, or sometimes you can't hear anything peeking through, but it's still the backup track. Then we have pre-recorded performances, which are like this, where the vocals are entirely pre-recorded and you can lip sync over that. And then there's these pre-recorded vocals, but you can have live vocals peeking through those pre-recorded vocals. So I think the last 2 Kitsch stages like this are those, unless it's entirely pre-recorded, but we're about to find out. I feel like I'm hearing Liz again. Liz and Isa are the ones I'm hearing so much. I feel like I'm hearing Yujin too though as well. Pare? So we'll end it here because I think it's pretty much the same thing as the last performance. Let's go to I Am. So this is the one. No, I haven't seen the M Countdown one. I have seen the Music Bank one, but I haven't seen this one. So let's see. People said it's live. Let's see. Oh my God. Yara, did you hear that? I can hear her second voice. I shit you not. I've been thinking this is rave forever. Fuck. Yeah. I love it already. I'm in love. She does. Because I just analyzed this morning their Music Bank stage of this, and I noticed that Isa says "déjà vu" really loud in comparison to the rest of her line. So. Yes, music to my ears. What else can you expect from Liz? My second bias. I mean, everything I thought about IVE until this. I mean, we cannot. There's no excusing that Strawberry Moon stage, but like my initial thoughts about IVE, I feel like are quite changed as of now. I don't know the fucking lyrics. I'm trying to pretend like I know the lyrics. I don't. I'm sorry. Yeah, we can hear you, baby. We can hear you. I feel like we hear her just breathing during that line. Isa's just breathing, and she's allowed to. She's not singing that part right now. They need a break. They're singing and dancing, guys. They need a break. Come on. Like, that's what people get so mad at me. They're like, you literally expect perfection from idols. I do not. I want imperfection. You guys are totally misunderstanding me. Imperfection is welcomed. And if I see imperfection, it's fine. I would never like get mad at an idol for having a voice crack or for having like a bad stage or anything like that. To me, it seems genuine. That's all I want. You guys are the one who expects too much because you praise these obviously lip sync stages, and then when you don't hear that perfection, you're like, ew. So no, we're different. Don't mistake us as being the same. I mean, do we even have to watch the last stage at this point? Do we? Do we even? I mean, I already know it by heart because I like spend so much time editing a reel of it, a short. The low part, you can hear movement. This is the first stage. And I'm not saying that all the other stages were not live, but it's like the first time that I feel like they did try to smooth it out to an extent, but we're hearing movement. And I'm just like, yes, thank you. Thank you, KBS. I don't take back what I said about you earlier, but thank you for this. Yes. Okay. Get it, Liz. Okay. I don't think we need to watch the rest of the stage because I feel like we just know that it's live. Like, especially that movement. It's so rare to hear movement these days. And I know it was like just the big, like one little second of movement where I'm like fixated on it. But like, again, we just watched how many stages since when did they debut? 2021? Like a year. Over a year of performances. Obviously not all of them, but let's say it's a good idea of their music show performances abilities. Let's say one singular instance of hearing movement, and that's not uncommon for K-pop performances, so don't take it anyway. We just don't hear the movement. They smooth out the movement. You know, they put the backup track out. It was so loud so you don't hear this movement. So I'm happy about it. Yeah. So let's talk about my final thoughts, because obviously at the beginning I was saying I always thought of IVE as this lip sync group, and I was inspired to do this video by hearing a live stage and thinking like, oh, you know, it might be worth looking into their performances. There's nothing wrong with being a lip sync group. You know, our queens, fuck no, damn it. But I feel like I have a different view on IVE. I just thought of them as these stunning individuals who like don't need to sing live. And especially at that Strawberry Moon stage, I was just like, yeah. Because if you think about it, like I saw their end of year performances, right? Just take my word for it that a lot of them were LAR. There were a couple where I thought I was hearing some voices here and there, but it just wasn't enough to convince me otherwise. So I feel like we've shed some preconceived notions that we had about IVE. I mean, I was already starting to like IVE anyways, but I did have some like prejudices maybe against them, thinking like they just never sang live. Same with New Jeans actually. Like I remember it's really those end of year performances where the majority of people, let's face it, are probably not singing live anyways. There are just like a few breakout performances that are earth-shattering. But even New Jeans, I remember seeing some of their performances and just thinking, ugh, whatever. They're just another fourth gen group lip syncing to shit, right? But then you catch a performance here and there and you're like, wait a minute, am I just thinking wrong of them? So maybe we'll have to look into New Jeans as well. As for me, that's basically it. I have nothing else to say. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. If you thought badly about IVE because of that Strawberry Moon I mean, it's fine. It exists. It is what it happened. It doesn't mean that IVE will forever stay in that state, if that makes sense, you know? I just think people are allowed to mess up and they can improve or not improve or whatever the case may be. Point being that if someone references the Strawberry Moon performance, I'm not like outraged. Like, I get it. No, maybe don't do that. And also let me know in the comments down below which other groups you'd like me to check out. It's always fun to get to know these groups alongside you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends who don't have you. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. You can join my channel members by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button. As for me, I'm gonna get going. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi, welcome. My name is Angelina, and today we're going to be looking into IVE's live performances. So this is basically a little series that I do where I take a specific group and I look into their performance history for fun. I just want to see, like, is there a history of mostly live performances? I'm not even recording the audio right now. Ah! That was literally so perfect and I didn't even stutter. Fuck!